we can't get business back going until the virus is under control.
Governor Newsom looks to a former White House press secretary to help save and kickstart the world's fifth largest economy. Dee Myers, known to break down barriers, but under her guidance, will California businesses get back on track? My exclusive with Newsom's newly named chief economic advisor.
You asked about vaccine confidence, and that's what keeps me up at night.
In the COVID vaccine we trust, is there 100% confidence this vaccine is the game changer to beat the pandemic? And how much credit does President Trump deserve for rolling out the vaccine this fast after downplaying the virus? The man Trump appointed as U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Jerome Adams, joins me exclusively. And our panel ready to weigh in. From Fresno County and city leaders bickering over COVID funds to the stunning court reversal of Measure P. Welcome to Sunday. It's KC24 Sunday Morning Matters.
Now, from your local election headquarters, KC24, this is Sunday Morning Matters with your host, Alexan Balakian.
And good Sunday morning. I'm Alexan Balakian. Thank you for joining us. And please join the conversation on Twitter at RealAlexan. Use the hashtag Sunday Morning Matters. Along the way, Valley Assemblyman Devin Mathis demands Governor Newsom to call in the National Guard to help South Valley hospitals. But first, the wait is over. A shot in the arm lifting our spirits and the hope we can finally win the fight against COVID-19.
We've already gotten word in Madera, Fresno, San Joaquin, Shasta, that those vaccines have indeed arrived.
And there you see it, the scene on Tuesday morning at Valley Children's Hospital as the Pfizer vaccine delivered by FedEx in a box. The freezer already set at 78 below to store hundreds of the vaccine. Fresno County receiving 7,800 doses. And this week, Governor Newsom confirming more than 2 million doses of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines will arrive by the end of the month. Joining me exclusively from Sacramento, Governor Newsom's newly named Chief Economic and Business Advisor, Dee Myers, a familiar name and face, the first woman to be named White House Press Secretary under former President Bill Clinton, and recently top executive for Warner Brothers. Dee, welcome to Sunday Morning Matters. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm delighted to be here. Thanks for having me.
You know, I got to ask you, why in the world would you want to take on this massive challenge to try to help California get their businesses and get their jobs back to where it was?
Well, it definitely is a massive challenge. But, you know, I've been working with the governor since last spring in an informal way, helping, you know, deal with the twin crisis of the pandemic and the economic crisis that has followed. And one thing led to another, and he offered me this job running the Office of Economic Development, Business and Economic Development. And, you know, I'm quite frankly, I'm honored to be able to take on this role at this challenging time. So many people have been you know, hurt by the pandemic and the required economic shutdowns. There's so much we need to do to get people back on their feet, to get businesses open, to get people hired, to, you know, to put the economy back together. So I'm excited about the opportunity to dig in and help our state, quite frankly.
You talk about trying to put it together, and, you know, restaurants are going under. We don't know what's going to happen with the housing situation once the eviction moratorium ends. There's a lot of uncertainty. Could California see a bankruptcy situation?
No, California is not going to be bankrupt, although this is a very challenging environment, as you know. We can't print money. The state, like all states across the country, have to balance. We have to balance our budget. With revenue down and need up. That's a bigger challenge than it ever is, and it's always challenging. But we will work through it. We could certainly use more help from the federal government. You know, it's been way too long since they, you know, were here to support people who need unemployment benefits. They need housing help and other things that the Fed should be providing, and hopefully they will. Meantime, we're going to do everything we can, and that's going to include, you know, new supports for small businesses, particularly, so that they can, you know, in the form of grants and loans, tax relief and regulatory relief to allow people not only to get through the next few months until we have a widely distributed vaccine, but to begin to rebuild, put people back to work and get things going again. And there's obviously support on the worker side too that we'll be rolling out, and the governor will be rolling out in his budget. There's no question this is an incredibly challenging time, but we're resilient. This economy is big, strong, and resilient, and we're going to help everybody get through it.
You know, our local state senator, Andreas Borges, just sent a letter to the governor within the last 24 hours. He wants to label restaurants as essential businesses. We don't have any handheld proof that they are part of the widespread of the virus. In your opinion, should this happen? Should businesses like restaurants be able to open outdoors? They purchased a bunch of tents, and restaurants that are failing because of the lockdown, you know, open, close, should they be able to be essential?
Well, I'm not an epidemiologist, but the state has certainly made decisions about opening and closing based on a health first set of metrics. And one of the issues was, as you know, we had the 4 color-coded tiers, right? And counties would move in and out of tiers based on the rate of spread, the number of cases, the capacity of hospitals and things like that. So what we saw was people in the most restrictive tier had a number of restrictions, and yet the virus was spreading. What the health officials have tried to do is to reduce mixing, because we know that when people get close together, virus spreads, and it's out of control in many parts of the state. I actually live in Los Angeles, and our ICU capacity is at 0. And that's happening all over the state. It's, the amount of virus in the community is at a level we have not seen. And so we're imploring people to please stay home, don't mix, don't see people outside your families, don't go, obviously go to the grocery store and things like that, where people need to support themselves and their families. But, and this is an incredibly difficult situation. I think we all understand that, but we can't get business back going until the virus is under control.
Well, real quick, you talk about business getting back going. Well, there's businesses like Tesla and Oracle. They're moving. They're going to Texas. They are massive money makers for income tax that is contributed to the state and to the overall revenue of the state. How do you plan to make this up?
Well, interestingly, neither Oracle nor Tesla are moving any jobs at this point. I mean, Oracle has said their employees, can work from anywhere, many of them, and they can do as they please. But they're not. They're moving their headquarters. Look, that's disappointing. We'd rather have them stay here, but they're not moving jobs. And bottom line is, there are, many, many companies behind them who are growing their businesses. We have the fastest growing companies in the entire world here in California. We have 20 of the top 100. We have 20 of the 20 Fortune 500 companies, way more than any other states, except New York on Fortune 500. But, this is still a great place to invest and grow. Just last week, we saw 2 amazing IPOs from DoorDash and Airbnb, showing the dynamism of this economy, the fact that creative companies want to be here, the kinds of companies that are changing the future. There are still a lot of those. We have so many assets in this state. And I could list some, Eric, and I'm happy to, but I will say there there are challenges. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there are not, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, there are challenges. We understand, the cost of housing, challenges around transportation, things that, we as Californians deal with every day, and we need to continue to try to address those and tackle them. But, a few companies leaving, wish they wouldn't. But there's a way more companies here that are going to continue to grow our economy and continue to innovate and change the world.
E.D. Myers, we wish you the best of luck. Happy holidays. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, you too. Thank you for having me.
Well, now that we've heard about the economic side of the equation, how about the science behind the vaccine? Can we trust it? How much credit does President Trump deserve for rolling it out 10 months into the pandemic? The man he appointed as U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Jerome Adams, joins me exclusively next.